It's about 5 minutes after 12, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you to this June virtual luncheon of the Bastrop Chamber of Commerce. It's our first ever, and we want to welcome you with us today. We're broadcasting here out of the Bastrop Independent School District boardroom, multi-purpose room. For those of you who don't know me, and I do know that there are a few new people joining us today, my name is Becky Womble, and I'm the President and CEO of the Bastrop Chamber of Commerce. And on behalf of our board and staff, we want to welcome you to this first ever virtual meeting in these new times that we're experiencing. Who knew in March that we would have a world pandemic that would hit us? But God has brought us through this time, and so we want to start off our luncheons like we always do with giving thanks. So I want to welcome to the podium Derrick Brown. He is our education chair, and he is the children's pastor for Calvary Baptist Church. So I'm going to turn it over to Derrick.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the opportunity we get to join each other online and to be a part of this community. God, we thank you for the things that you continue to do and the way you continue to help people through this time. Lord, I just want to pray a special blessing upon our businesses, and that you will continue to be with business owners as they traverse this time and their employees. And God, that you will just keep everyone safe, and that you'll help give them wisdom and guidance as they figure out new ways to reach their people. God, as people are moving and moving into this community, I ask that we would be a great community that would embrace them and be a part of their lives. We give this meeting to you and ask you just to bless our time together. In your name we pray. Amen.
Well, we want to thank our sponsors today. And when I say sponsors, I mean plural sponsors. We last met together as an organization on March 4th. We had planned to have a luncheon in April and in one in May, and now here we are in June having a virtual luncheon together. But we have a strong membership who supports the chamber. And so when I talk about multiple sponsors, we have sponsors who were previously committed to sponsoring those lunches, and they still follow through with their commitment even though we did not get to have those luncheons. And so I'd like to recognize those people at this time. First of all, for the month of April, Remax Bastrop Area, K. Wesson Broker. For the month of May, we had Craig's Jewelry and Repair along with Ladd's Gold Exchange. So I want to thank Ken Ladd and Liz Sanchez. And then for the month of June, it's Syntex Mechanical Air and Heat. So I want to thank Jean Rampy today. We could not do what we do without the unwavering support of our sponsors and our membership. So please support them and support each other. We're proud to announce that we've had 11 new members join us since our last time together in March, on March 4th. People are still seeing the value of chamber membership, and so they are still joining the chamber. So we want to recognize those 11 new members. Usually we say refer to the PowerPoint, but we can't do that today because obviously we're meeting virtually. But if you would please go to our homepage of our website and scroll to the bottom, you'll see a scrolling list of those newest members that have joined us and joined our membership. So always remember, shop our members first. Speaking of chamber membership, I am very proud of how you guys have supported each other. It's been a difficult time, and you've adjusted, and you have adjusted your habits. You've gone and done takeout. You've tipped big. You have shopped online. You've bought gift certificates, and that means the world for us to recover during this time. So I'm very proud of you guys and how you've handled this time. It's been 93 long days, and try not to cry in front of y'all, but I know that's me, and y'all know that's me. So anyways, thank you for what you've done, and us pulling together is how we're going to get through this together. So speaking of being together, we have a campaign going on right now that's called We're Going to Get Through This Together, Bastrop County. And so if you haven't heard, our 29th annual Patriot Festival had to be canceled. Thank you, Chris. And so that is a fundraiser for the chamber. It's one of two that we have during the year. And so we've come up with this campaign. We've had to be creative and kind of rethink and adjust our budget because that is part of our operating budget for the year. So we are now offering our local business community 2 levels of sponsorship, because we feel that you need your chamber more than ever at this time. And so keeping in the theme of our Patriotic Festival, we've designed a great t-shirt that says, "We're in this together, Bastrop County." We're offering those t-shirts for sale. They're $10 each. And we want to paint the whole county red, white, and blue. So we have 2 levels of sponsorships or investment levels with an extensive marketing package. So if you want more information about that, please call your chamber and we will get you more information. And there is a deadline of June 19th to get shirts ordered. And if you want to be a supporter, that same date applies to being listed on the back of those shirts. So call the chamber and get more information about being a part of We're in This Together, Bastrop County. So typically during our lunches, we do a BISD spotlight. Unfortunately, we had a last minute change and they're not going to be able to be here for our spotlight. But I want to give a big shout out to our school district. They're a huge partner of ours. And especially as a parent of the class of 2020, they did an amazing job with graduation and trying to make the end of the school year in a very difficult time be special for graduating seniors. So as a mom and a parent, I just want to give a big shout out to them and tell them thank you for all the extra effort that particularly Christy Lee and her staff did broadcasting graduation this last weekend, but just the administration and the teachers for what they did in a situation that there's no way they could plan for. So if you see a teacher, give them a hug when we can, hug again, and just tell them you appreciate what they do because they're an important partner in our school district, in our community and our school district. I want you to have an update from the City of Bastrop. For those of you who don't know, our mayor functions as our emergency management director during a time of disaster. And so I want to welcome Mayor Connie Schrader to the podium and let her give you a little bit of an update on what's going on and what the city's response has been during the last 93 days. So welcome, Connie Schrader.
Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. Look forward to seeing you in person. Thank you for joining us today, and I appreciate the opportunity to give you guys an update. There is a more extensive update as a part of our council meeting last night. That's why Becky called me this morning and asked me if I wanted to do this to get the information out to some more people. So I'll be nice and short, but if you want some additional information, feel free to go to the council. One thing I want to make sure everyone's aware of is on this Friday, June 12th, there is going to be 4,000 gallons of milk given away. There is a milk and food giveaway that will start at 8 a.m. and you go to the Foundation Christian Ministries. That's at 177 East Union Chapel. So 4,000 gallons of milk, that's an awesome thing for our community, and we don't want any of that to go to waste. Next Thursday, June 18th, at the Schulman Theater, there will be 400 boxes of food given away starting at 9 o'clock. And at both of these giveaways, you get in line in the car and they put the food in your car and you drive away. So don't think that there's a lot of red tape, and it's about getting the resources out. So I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. If anybody has employees, or if you've got friends and neighbors that are having a hard time through all of this COVID event, there is quite a bit of CARES money that has been is available for distribution, and a really great resource for that is to go to www.ccAction.com, and they have a disaster pandemic. It's real easy. You'll see the button on the front page of their website. You click on that button. It's a real easy application, and they are able to help folks with everything from rent assistance to utility assistance, prescriptions, gas cards. A great resource. They've got the money and they're trying to get it out. All you have to do to be able to fill out the application is be a resident of Bastrop County. So for our chamber members, again, if it's employees, families of employees, or friends and neighbors, please make sure that they're aware of that. I really appreciate all the things that the businesses have done, and I've enjoyed shopping local. It's great to see people, and I appreciate everything that people have been doing together. From the emergency management director, we have done a joint emergency operations center with the county because, of course, the pandemic has impacted everyone, not just the city of Bastrop. And I think folks know that our cases were up around 251 cases, but we also have recoveries up at 96. So we are very fortunate that we have only had 3 deaths. It's hard to say only with any number associated with deaths, but it's important that we all be aware that the virus is still around and make good, reasonable decisions. We are trying to follow CDC guidelines and the government's orders for opening Texas, which brings us to the most important question of the day, and that is the Bart Park opens on Monday, June 15th. With the Bart Park opening, I expect my email to go down between 10 and 50 emails a day. So I personally am looking forward to that. So along with the Bart Park, we are opening all of the sports fields. So pickleball, tennis, basketball, the baseball fields, the soccer nets will be going up. All of that type of activity will be open on Monday, June 15th. We have 4 phases that are going to get us back to our new normal within COVID. And the first phase is Monday, June 15th. The second phase is Monday, June 22nd. And the third phase is Friday, June 26th. This will all be posted on our city Facebook and website. But the big things are the sports parks and the Bart Park being open on Monday. Then on our second phase, which is Monday, June 22nd, the city buildings that already have sneeze guards and have the appropriate safety information or safety construction in place, which is our police department, our public works, our water, and our municipal court, they will all open on Monday, June 22nd. We have a couple of our buildings like City Hall and the library. When they were constructed, it was all about interacting with the public. And so we're having to make some construction modification. We'll be using CARES Act money to do that, but that's why we need a few more days to get those buildings taken care of. The library they have set records on curbside checkouts. And on phase 2, Monday, June 22nd, you will start being able to make appointments to utilize the computers. And then in phase 3 of June 26th, they'll be doing some more opening. But if you'll go to the library page, you'll be able to get some details about that. Back to the parks, because that's important for everyone. On Monday, June 22nd, the playscapes, the splash pad, and the bathrooms will all be open. We knew it wasn't a good idea to have kids there with the playscapes and the splash pad without getting the bathrooms open. So that's why all of that stuff is being done together. And so by Monday, June 22nd, from a park standpoint, everything will be open and we'll be rocking and rolling. I know that's a lot of information. I'll end there. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or call me. Check our Facebook and our website page, and just appreciate everybody's cooperation. And please, as you make decisions, as more things are opening up, it's really important that people do what's best for them, their situation, and their family. So a little common sense goes a long way. Be safe, and most importantly, please be kind to each other. Thank you.
We are so fortunate to have Connie as our mayor right now. No one could plan for this. This is not anything that could be in any kind of crisis manual. So she's put in a lot of hours and a lot of work to lead our city and help with our county. So you see her, tell her thank you too. One more thing before we get started with our program, because I know you guys have lots of questions about the Art Institute that's coming to Bastrop. I want to introduce one person to you. We have a new staffer. Her name is Pam Ferguson. So I'm going to let her step in and just say hi real quick so you'll know her face.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be with the Chamber. I'll look forward to meeting you all in person soon.
She may be a familiar face to you. Pam actually owned a business on Main Street called High Cotton. So she's a former member of the Chamber, went to live in Wimberley for about 3.5 years and worked for a bank over there. And she started with us on April 27th. So it's just a funny side story. She is a business that I secret shopped when I was interviewing for my job here. So we go back actually farther back than my employment here in Bastrop. So we're very fortunate to have her at the chamber and adding to our team. So anyways, on to our program. I know you guys have got lots of questions about the programming and everything that's coming with the Art Institute of Austin. So we field lots of questions, weekly, about people asking about the Art Institute and the new building that's going in. And so we're just really excited to have a post-secondary opportunity for our students here in Bastrop. And so I want to introduce Latoya Williams. She's the interim president for the Art Institute, and she will be making introductions of her other staff. So welcome, Latoya.
Thank you, Becky. We're so excited to be coming over to Bastrop. Good afternoon, chamber members. Joining me today, I have Amy Lee, who's our Vice President of Mentorship and Career Readiness, and Mark Lucero, who's actually going to be the presenter. He's our Vice President of Operations. Just to provide you guys with a little history of the Art Institute of Houston. The Art Institute of Houston was established in 1965, and then the Art Institute of Austin came along in 2008, which is a branch campus of the Art Institute of Houston. Our mission is to provide a quality, collaborative academic environment for individuals seeking creative careers through higher education. Private multi-campus college, our bachelor's degrees, associate degrees, and diploma degrees, are competency-based, incorporating traditional liberal arts, professional education, and management level competencies with hands-on instruction. Faculty use learning-centered methodology to prepare students for entry-level positions in the design, media, fashion, and culinary arts fields, as well as lifelong learning. So we are so excited to be bringing our talents on over to Bastrop. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Mark Lucero to provide you guys with a presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Becky and the Chamber, for having us today. It's a real pleasure for us to get to share a little bit about who we are, and thank you to Latoya for introducing our institution. I'm going to pull up here Are you able to see my screen?
No. We'll share it for you, Mark.
Okay, tell me now.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Okay. So, okay, here we go. So, the Art Institute of Austin going to Bastrop. Again, as Latoya mentioned, we are a branch campus of the main in Houston, but Austin has its own little unique culture, and we're excited about that opportunity to kind of take some of that to this new opportunity in Bastrop, and then create our own new environment, our own new partnerships, and start something all together that will hopefully grow and bring great value not only to the students but also to the community and as a whole. And I know for all of us it's an exciting opportunity and a turning of a page and a new chapter. So we're looking forward to that. As Latoya mentioned a bit earlier, this is sort of our leadership team that has oversight of the Austin location. We have Latoya, who is our interim president. Amy Lee, who you've been introduced, as our vice president of mentorship. Myself, our dean of academic affairs. We have a director of enrollment and a director of financial services. All of them wanted to be here and be able to speak a little bit about all the wonderful things they do, but we felt that it was we would be able to represent everybody between this group. But they're excited and share our excitement about coming to Bastrop and joining that community. As already previously mentioned, Art Institute is actually part of, there's eight institutions that make up our schools system. Houston has the 2 branches, and that's our Texas locations. We also actually have a school in Dallas as part of our Miami group. But the 8 schools we're very fortunate because we have many of us that have been in the leadership roles have worked together over the years. Many of them have worked at multiple campuses. And what that does is it allows us to, although we operate as 3 separate groups, it allows us to share some really good practices and share some great minds. So as, you know, we're all in different markets, but we all have different specialties. And specifically in our faculty, we have a number of people that just bring a great element. So having the 8 locations is great, is wonderful, because it's the opportunity to share ideas, share resources, and all of that. It benefits the students at each of the campuses. We are a regionally accredited institution by the South Colleges and Schools. We, as mentioned, we offer programs that the credentials are in Bachelor, Associate, and Diploma. We actually do, I believe, have a couple of master's programs that we're approved for in a couple of our locations. The 4 main pillars of our schools fall within the media, the design, culinary, and fashion areas. And from that, we have a number of different programs and degrees, which I'll kind of show you in a second, that we offer. And I think that, again, going back to one of the original things I brought up about what's unique is that we are a diverse group of individuals, from our students to our faculty to our staff. We bring in a variety of people from different backgrounds that really make a good learning environment, that provide opportunity for people to explore areas and things that they had previously not done so. So it's an exciting endeavor when somebody becomes part of that team, and we're excited about also bringing, again, that mentality with us to Bastrop. Locations. So I put a couple of pictures up. These are the most recent that I had, anyways, from our current facility. I'm sure they made some significant progress. But we will be housed in 2 locations when we make our official move to the Bastrop area. The first one is 921 Main Street, which this is a picture of, at least in one of the iterations of the progress that's being made. And then also at the Lost Pines Art Center. And we're already, we have our groups, people that are working to prepare for beginning that move to Lost Pines next week. And I know everybody's chomping at the bit as we get closer to that, and just looking forward to having everything in there and getting rid of the shared locations and getting into just Bastrop and making our home there and starting to plant our roots. On to the programs just a little bit, and I won't go through each of them by name, but as I mentioned, there are different pillars that we work out of. At the Austin location right now, we are enrolling for our media, our design, and our fashion. In the media, these are some of the programs that we offer. There is a variety of bachelor and associate degrees in each of our areas. Sometimes the programs that we may offer at Austin aren't offered at San Antonio or Houston, but vice versa. They're all pretty closely related. But again, it gives us an opportunity to share some resources, some strong faculty, bring people together and students together, classes together for projects, and again, just introducing and getting these people familiar with working in that type of an environment. Going on in our design and fashion, you look at some of the programs there. Again, in the associates, we offer the applied associate's degree or Bachelor in Fine Arts. And those pretty much run the gamut of our degrees, along with, again, as I mentioned, some certificate diploma programs that we offer. You know, when you go back and you look at some of these the programs, you know, it's one of the things that drew me to the Art Institute back in 2015 when I came aboard was that just the different types of work that these individuals do, and I think that that's going to be, you know, that's one of the fun explorations for our students, is that they go into one particular program, whether it be in design or in media or any of the programs that we offer, but it opens doors to them to opportunities that they probably did not realize in the beginning. And that's that, you know, these are sort of placeholders for titles, but the really nice thing about it is that it provides them with a platform to learn and to move into multiple areas. And I mean, it's really neat to watch as we get our different programs and our different faculty working together and teaming up for projects where they're able to kind of use the different individuals, the students, to you know, to create from starting a business to where these people would, how they would be influencing that, to revamping a website or from an advertising perspective. And it's a lot of fun for our students, for our faculty. And I think that having this new environment with Bastrop and a smaller footprint, if you will, is going to give us great opportunity to be able to to get into that in with the people and really understand a little bit more about what they do. In the larger metropolitan areas that we're in, we have those relationships, but they tend to be with a smaller group of people. Some of the people that we partner with locally are typically either friends or colleagues. But when you get into an area like Bastrop, I think that it's going to lend itself to more of a holistic type of a relationship to be able to be developed. And I think that's one of the exciting things for us as we move forward. One of the things that we do with the Art Institute that I think, and we put this on there, that I think it's a wonderful opportunity, especially for those parents and students that are coming straight out of high school or getting ready to graduate from high school, is what we call our College Bound Express. Right now it's in a virtual status. It has been on an on-ground status in the past. But what this does is it basically gives you an opportunity to test drive the Art Institute. You get to go in for programs that will kind of give you a taste of who we are, what we do. It'll give them an opportunity, these students, prospective students, to see if this is really the right move for them. Will this create the kind of future and employment that they want to pursue? And on top of that is that there is opportunity for college credit, that they could actually take some of the outcomes and the work that they do there and apply it towards should they continue on with the Art Institute and decide that our particular institution is for them. So it's obviously it's for our high school students, but it's proved to really set the table well, giving students and their families an opportunity to take a deep look into it without making the final commitment, if you will, and really getting to know it. It's sort of like just starting the friendship and then deciding whether they want to pursue it full time later on. So I think the virtual College Bound Express is something that is definitely worth looking into if you're a parent for a high school student, or maybe a sophomore, junior getting ready to move on. And on our website, you'll see where we have that. You'll be able to find that, to get more information. As well as right now we have our open house is also virtual due to the environment and with the pandemic that we're living in. And that website at the bottom, it allows you to go there and take our virtual open house at any time. Typically, our open houses are offered on a quarterly basis, and if it's an on-ground scenario, we would be inviting people to our campus and having little workshops and so forth. Well, we are a creative institution, and we had our people put together sort of the same type of an environment that they could show online and on the website. So anybody that's interested at any time, we don't have to wait for a specific date. You just go to that site. Again, that's also on our regular website, and be able to just kind of see a little bit, hear a little bit about from students, from faculty, see what the campus looks like. And again, it gives you a taste, if you will, of kind of who we are. A couple of things that are always real important is the admissions and the financial aid process for a school. And we're no different than any other. I mean, we have a team, we call it our enrollment team, and that consists of our admissions team, our people, our financial aid people, and our student mentors. And this enrollment team together, they partner to be able to help our prospective students through the process. Going through the application, completing all the documentation that's required, any testing, any papers that need to be, transcripts, things of that nature. Financial aid will also talk with them and explain to them a little bit about what the options are. And, sitting down and talking about some of the things out there that will help them with paying for school and so forth. The Art Institute, I mean, there are a number of different opportunities when it comes to financial aid. We offer something called the Art Grant, which is basically given to students. They can basically earn up to 18% of their tuition in the Art Grant in the Bachelor's program and roughly 13% in the Associate. And the way that works is every time they complete 12 credits towards their degree program, they would get a percentage of that money that would be work against their tuition. So you know, again, it's there's things of that nature. We have the Academic Achievement Scholarship. There's DECA. There's the National Art Honor Society. There are so many different opportunities for our students that are outside the normal process, if you will, of traditional federal financial aid. And on top of that, we also have all our students, for the most part, I would say 90% of them, use the federal financial aid program. So our financial aid team, as part of our enrollment team, will work with them to complete their FAFSA, which is a free application for federal student aid. They'll sit down with them and they'll create a plan, kind of show them what they're qualified for. Whenever they're working with what we call dependent students, they'll most definitely want to involve the parents of that, so that they, again, before any commitments are made, before anything is started with school, there's a good idea and a good plan in place for what they know they're going to be dealing with. And that way, the most important thing is that they can put all their focus into their studies. One last thing that I'll just throw out there, and this is more, again, for me, the reason we were talking as we were creating this, the slides for this presentation, this Refer a Friend program, there's a small financial incentive to it, about $250 per quarter, but I don't think that's the important part. I mean, that's great, and it's obviously it will all take any opportunity for that. But the Refer a Friend program, I think, is really neat because in education today, we really notice that our students, whether they come in, you know, with a friend or a relative or whatever, they definitely work better and progress better when they have that partnership. And I've seen so many of our students, because of their experience there, being able to say, you know what, I do have this friend or this person, and learning together, studying together, working on projects together. I think it is such a benefit to students, not just with the Art Institutes, but anywhere. And so I think this is one of those programs that we're real excited about, and we promote it and encourage it because it's, I just think that retention for students and their ability to meet the, you know, the requirements from the academic perspective are far elevated when they have that partnership and so forth. And again, if they don't come with somebody, they're going to meet plenty of people there to become friends with. But again, I think it's just a program that's worth mentioning. So that kind of is just in a nutshell. I mean, obviously we could go into a lot of details about each program and about, you know, a number of different things about the Art Institute, but it's just an overview. We wanted to kind of give you a little bit of a taste of who we are and what we do. And again, now be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Let's see here. Let me look at some of the questions. Some of these are just kind of chats among our members because they're very social people. Let's see here. View here. There was a question about sharing your website, but I think that was, I'm not sure if that pertained to you guys or maybe the mayor. So I may need to follow up with that person. How about, when is your start date for Bastrop?
That's a good question. We are currently working out of a virtual platform right now with our classes. So we've not stopped any of our education since we've gone because of the pandemic. So our next start is actually going to be July 13th. But because of the situation as it is, we're still anticipating that being an online forum. We hope that as that quarter begins for us, that in the coming weeks, that we will be able to create a plan that will allow us to start opening up labs in a way that we're able to bring in students, faculty, and staff in a safe way to be able to start using those facilities. But fortunately for us, we have a wonderful group of individuals in our academic team that have created a virtual forum right now for our students where they're still able to meet their outcomes without putting anybody in any kind of jeopardy. So we're all just as excited about getting back to our on-ground opportunities, and we anticipate that'll be coming sometime, at least in a slow process in the summer. But at this particular point, an exact date has not been determined.
Okay. Hey, Amy, why don't you share with us that you were talking about before we went online about you guys were packing up the current campus, and I think there's some movement and some stuff that's going to be happening this weekend with the school district. Do you want to share a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm over the mentor team, so we're here to really embrace students, connect with the community, and be that sort of partnership between community and student experience. As Mark mentioned earlier, the campus is packing, so moving a lot of things over. We're moving some equipment over to both the Lost Pines location, and then I'm headed out tomorrow afternoon to the high school to meet with Amanda, your CTE coordinator, to kind of check out some of the audio and video locations in the high schools as maybe a temporary gap until we get set up so that our students can still continue learning.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Well, I don't see any other questions. Wait, one more. How long does it normally take a student to finish with a bachelor's?
Well, your typical 180 credit program, if a student's full time, I mean, you're looking at somewhere between 3.5, 4 years. Because we don't have, we're not in a semester-based program where you have fall, spring, and a lot of students will take off summer. We're on a quarter, so we continue through. So between 3 and 4 years, depending on how many credits that they're wanting to take, would be a completion time.
Okay. Another question was, what's the student to teacher ratio for most classes?
That varies. Austin is a relatively smaller institution.
Mm-hmm.
We have about 300 students. So we try to keep the students population between 15 and 20 in most classes. Some of your general ed might get a little bigger, up to 25. Some of your senior courses, when you're getting into the graduate portfolios and things like that, might be 5 students, 6 students in it, just depending. But for the most part, it's a small ratio from student to instructor.
Okay. Another question that just came in, it says, Whataburger is interested in participating with the Art Institute. It says, please reach out to us where we can. So
I will send you my email in the chat.
Actually, you know what, Amy, why don't you send, if you don't mind, send all our emails to the whole group. And then that way, if they do have questions later on, Becky, they can reach out to us and we'd be happy to.
And then
Mark, there's a question in the chat too about culinary courses being offered. You mentioned we're enrolling in design, but there's a question about are we enrolling in culinary?
Right. Yeah, so at this particular point, we have put a pause on our culinary program in Austin. That's a little bit of a different process to move for a school. It requires obviously a lot of facility resources, and due to the pandemic and kind of what was available to us at the time, we felt that rather than trying to force something in there, we wanted to get ourselves established with the other 3 areas, and then at that particular point we could revisit and reassess where we're at with culinary, and dependent on what the facility situation looked like and what we felt that if there would be a market in that area that would make sense to bring it back, we're most definitely open to all the options.
Okay. All right, so we're running a little bit short on time. I want to thank Latoya and Amy and Mark for jumping on this first ever virtual chamber lunch. Like I said, it helped to keep us on track with our schedule for our programming at the chamber. And so we really appreciate you guys sharing your information and just reaching out to us early on so that we can help you guys make connections. I think one student has already been hired by a local business because I had a member reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And I was able to hook them up with Amy. And so we already have a student that's hired by a local business. So that's really exciting kind of connections we want to make.
And one last note on that, we are going to be looking to hire a receptionist for both the Lost Pines location and the main when that eventually opens in the fall. But we're looking for the Lost Pines. The ad should be going out in the next week or so. So if anybody out there knows somebody that might be interested in that, I don't know the particulars yet, but be on the lookout for that because we're definitely looking for somebody to join our team there.
Okay. Well, Mark, you may not know this, but we have this feature on our website for job posting. So I'll be looking for that information so we can post that and have another job posting.
Well, I will make sure that I get that out to our HR gentleman who will be doing the posting, and I'll make sure he gets that out there.
Okay. Well, just a couple quick announcements. I know everybody's hanging on the line because we've got our member-only drawing, and we've decided today that we are going to draw from the people that were registered for our lunch. So somebody is walking out of here with $250 today. So, but a couple announcements real quick. Guys, the secondary disaster of COVID-19 is going to be the 2020 census. If you have not heard me preach about this yet, I'm getting on my soapbox now. We are sitting at a 51% response rate in our county. Up in Williamson County, they're like at 63%. The national average is like 69%. We are way behind. If you don't register for the census, it's billions of dollars in federal money we're going to lose for schools, hospitals, public works, highways, infrastructure, federal programs, you name it. We've heard a big thing during this pandemic about the lack of internet access because we're such a rural county. Commercial internet providers look at population pockets to figure out where they're going to take services to. So talk to your friends, talk to your family, get everyone to fill out the census. Go and like our page, Count Me in Bastrop County on Facebook. Look at our posts. The numbers are there every Monday. We're giving you the statistics of where we're sitting. They've only extended the registration for the census by 2 weeks. So by August 14th, we have to count every head in this county. So that's my soapbox. That's my PSA for today. Sign up for the census. And then the second thing I want to promote is I got this in the mail yesterday. These were supposed to go out in April, but I've made a very strategic decision not to have those mailed in April because so many businesses were closed. So these are hitting mailboxes now. It's a 96-page full color brochure filled with ads and all of our chamber membership. These are the people you need to support in our community, is your fellow chamber members. So hopefully you got this in the mail, and we've got boxes of them at the chamber. If you want to give them out at your business, come by. They do us no good if they're sitting in our storeroom. We want these out. We want to pass these out. We want to get these to HOAs. We're delivering them to the hotels. This is how we're going to help promote our community and get us back on track. So these are here. They're brand new. We'll have a map coming before long. So anyways, all right. So Pam, I need a number between 1 and 63 because we are giving away $250 today. Number 24. Let's see who number 24 is. Well, I hear a scream. I wonder if I'll hear a scream. Probably not because I'm on a Zoom call. All right, so number 24 is Bill Sharp with Living Room Bookstore. So big round of applause for Bill. So hopefully, oh, he typed in, yay, he's on the call still. All righty. So Bill, come by the chamber. We'll write you a check for our member-only drawing. So congratulations. Guys, thank you so much for being here and being such great supporters of the chamber. We hope to see you on August 5th. Our program will be Bastrop County Cares, and our sponsor will be Farmers Insurance. But meanwhile, stay safe. Continue to practice social distancing. Remember, that's the only way as a business community we are going to stay operational. We do not want to shut down again. So practice that social distancing. and continue to support each other. God bless and have a great day, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, guys.